Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you all. So let's get into this energy and see what's going on here. Already out, we have the court official, lovers, letter, gentleman, fatality, and imprisonment. Somebody could be writing a letter to a lover or the courts, or this could be that case of someone asking for compassion, again, mercy to the courts about fatally ending someone's life, about ending someone's life here. This person is saying that they love this person, they didn't mean to do it, that wasn't their intentions. Maybe this person is filing for an appeal as well, or if this person is already in prison, or this person is trying to avoid prison by telling the judge that they love this person, that they were gentle with this person, that they were in a healthy relationship with this person, but the judge doesn't see this person as a gentleman here. They don't see them as a gentleman. They see them as a murderer, a criminal, and this person is going to prison. However, they're trying to get this judge to see them. They don't see it that way, because in their eyes, you're just a criminal because of what you did, and it's not about your reason for doing it. It's the way you did it and how you did it that the judge is looking at. People do stuff for all kinds of reasons. People do stuff in self-defense for reasons, but that doesn't mean that they weren't wrong for how they handled the situation in the end. But this person is putting in a lot of time and effort on proving their case or trying to justify what they did, and unfortunately they just have to accept the responsibility for what they did. And either this person got in a rage because they found out their partner was cheating, or they got in a rage because their partner found out they were cheating and they got into a scuffle, a fight, or whatever, and they ended up taking this person out. And it doesn't matter how much you love that person. The judge is not going to look at the history of a person unless it's something relevant to a certain pattern of behavior, as far as if this person is a career criminal, or if this person has a history of doing something over and over again, a history of abuse or rape or whatever, or stealing. If a person has a history of that, then they'll consider something like that in a case, in a trial. But they're not going to consider the person's past dealings with the person. They're looking at that time, that moment in time, what happened, what led up to that, not over the years, but what led up to it that day, and how they handled the situation at that moment. So if the person is physically laying on the ground and you come up to them and stab them one more time, you know what I'm saying, or if or kick them in the, do something violent to them while they're down, and they don't have any weapons, or they can't defend themselves, then in most cases you're going to be considered a murderer. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's kind of looking like with this situation. Is the person, it was a crime of passion here, and the person, they got the person down and out, and then they still pursued to dismember or whatever this person did to take this person and discard of the body, or discard of the evidence, or whatever they did here. They try to cover it up and then act like they didn't do anything. And that's what the judge is looking at. That's what's coming out of these cards too. The judge is not hearing anything else. That they're looking at, you killed somebody. This is what you did after you killed this person too. The judge is looking at what you did to lead up to that moment and what you did afterwards. And this person tried to bury this person in the dark or something, or they tried to, or they did. I'm sorry, they did bury this person somewhere, or they did something in the nighttime that was hidden and they thought nobody saw them. And that's what this judge is looking at. The actions that this person took here. Somebody might usually be in control, but this time this person lost control. Because they became enraged. Or even if this person didn't become enraged, they were very calculated in something. But either way it goes, they might have been angry. Like the Hulk. He said in the Avengers, I don't know remember the end. I think it was Endgame. I'm not sure which one it was. But in the Avengers, he said, "That's the thing about me. I'm always angry." You know what I'm saying? But he just don't react to his anger all the time. Look, the Ace of Swords came out. That's the truth. Somebody might be always angry inside, but they don't give in to anger and rage, and they can be very calculated. They know when to express that anger and rage, but they don't do it all the time. This person is usually calm. They could be angry, but they're calm. But this day they just flipped out and they went down his path, and unfortunately the judge sees this as illegal, what they did. Archangel Raphael, healer of the sick, works directly with Archangel Michael. That's supposed to say is faded out though. Somebody's not very, they don't have narcissistic tendencies, but it's like they went too far. Somebody went too far here and then tried to cover it up. And that's what the judge is evaluating. Their routines. What were you doing? Your health. What state of mind were you in when you did this? Addictions. Balance. Like this person don't have any kind of mental problems or nothing. They're very balanced in their state of mind, and they did it. they just were calculated with what they were doing, and they did this crime. And the main thing that screwed them is that they covered it up. They tried to cover it up, and then somebody found out. Somebody tried to cover it up. But they tried to keep this a secret, but it didn't work here. It didn't work. They tried to keep it to themselves. And now they're in court trying to fight this, or they're trapped in the justice system in prison, and they're trying to fight this, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work here. The judgment has been made. It's over for this person. They're not getting out until their time is up. Crime of passion. Somebody should have just walked away and left the situation alone. But instead they chose to be delusional and fight. It's like they didn't understand. They were confused about where this could lead to, and they thought they were in the right. And it's like, how could you be in the right if you covered up your tracks? You know. But to be honest, I feel like that's really what let this person to go into prison is that they tried to cover it up. They didn't just be like, I tried. They didn't come out and say, oh, I tried to defend myself, and this person kept attacking, so I defended myself. But they went and covered it up here. Whoever this is went and covered it up, what they did, and went on about their life like they didn't do anything wrong. And then they probably had some regrets about doing it or whatever, but right now they're just focused on trying to get out of the justice system. And unfortunately, justice has been served in their eyes because they had enough evidence to prove that this person was in a toxic state of being when they did this, and their intentions was to get away with murder. One more thing that I wanted to add to this situation is, as long as this person is trying to get the judge to feel sorry for them and see that, like, if this person is in prison right now and they're trying to get the judge to see that they're a good person, that they didn't mean to do it and all this kind of stuff like that, so that they can get out of prison. That's when this person is doing their hearings and stuff like that. That's not what the judges are looking for. And if I'm helping this person get out, I don't know if this person is listening to my reading some kind of way, or if somebody go back and tell them what I say. But the judge or the parole board is looking at if you take responsibility for what you did. As long as you're sitting there like, I didn't mean to do it, and it's because I love this person, and you can understand me, right? You know how it is to be in love and to go all out for love and this and that, and I love this person, I took care of this person was my world, and this and that. They're not looking at that in the parole hearing. They're looking at, do you take responsibility for what you did? As long as you're making excuses, they're going to keep denying this person's parole or whatever. I don't know how long this person has been in prison, or how long they're going to be in prison, because this could be future energy. But as long as they're making excuses for what they did, they're never going to get out, or never even get a chance of parole, because they already been convicted, or they're getting convicted, and they're going to prison. And when you're in prison, they don't see you as innocent, because they're like, you've been tried and all that stuff like that. You're guilty. So they're going to look at, are you sorry for what you did? If you could do it all over again, would you take it back and do it all over again? But this person is not acting like they're sorry for what they did. They felt like they need to do this. They needed to do this. Yeah, they're sorry, but not to the point of accountability. Like, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it again. That's what they're saying to the courts, because I needed to, because this is what happened, and I didn't mean to do it, but this is what happened. They're looking at, you're not taking accountability, or this person is not taking accountability. So there you have it.